everyone and welcome back to another video. As you'll maybe notice, I do look a little bit different today. I'm not wearing my glasses. On this channel I have always had my glasses on, so you'll be used to seeing me with those on. But the wedding is now only 2 weeks away, as you can see behind me. And on the wedding day I'm not going to be wearing my glasses. So I'm just trying to get myself used to it because normally I wear them all day every day. I can manage okay without them, which is why I'm going without them on the wedding day, but obviously it does take a bit of getting used to. So over the next couple of weeks I'm just going to be wearing them a little bit less just to get myself used to it. So if you're wondering why I look slightly different, that is why. But yeah, I thought I would come on today and tell you all about my hair and makeup trial. So I had my trial yesterday and honestly it went better than I could have imagined. I will start from the beginning and go through it all with you, but it really did go perfectly. I was so happy when I left. I absolutely loved it. I actually feel like I look very plain now, even with a little bit of makeup on, because I loved how I looked when they'd done my hair and makeup. It was exactly what I was hoping for. But yeah, with there only being 2 weeks to go, there isn't that much left that I can tell you now because obviously things are going to be kept secret for the guests. We don't want to ruin any surprises. I've done the last of my monthly updates. There is still a lot going on behind the scenes, but not really much that I can update you on. But this is something that I can do an update on, so I just thought I would come on and tell you all about it. If hair and makeup isn't something that you're interested in, then I do apologise that you won't have any interest in this video, but I hope some of you out there might find it helpful. I'll give you a couple of little sort of hints and tips from my appointment in case you're going to be going for yours soon and it can help you out. So it probably makes sense to start by saying that I was incredibly nervous for this hair and makeup trial. I hadn't really thought about it much in the weeks leading up to it. I'd been so preoccupied with so many other things that I didn't really think about it, and then as it got closer in sort of the couple of days before, I started to get really nervous for a few reasons really. One, I don't tend to wear a lot of makeup, as you can tell. I am quite a girly girl. I like sort of pastel colours and floral prints, and I do like to wear a bit of makeup. I'm not sort of a tomboy, as I guess you would maybe call it. I never have been. I danced when I was younger, so I wore a lot of makeup as a dancer and all the sort of flashy costumes and everything. So I am quite a girly girl, but I never wear a lot of makeup to sort of the extent that people do now, and I've never had my makeup professionally done. I think the last time I had my hair professionally styled in that way was for my sixth form prom when I will have been 18, so that is coming up 14 years ago now, so it's been a while. So yeah, I was a bit nervous for that reason because obviously I'm not used to seeing myself with a lot of makeup on, and I was a bit worried about how strange that would feel and whether maybe I would feel like I didn't like it because it was so different. I was also a bit nervous, obviously, because I had quite a set idea in my head of what I wanted. I'd looked at lots of different styles for the hair and lots of different styles of makeup, and I did have quite a set idea of how I wanted it to look. I only really had one hairstyle that I knew I wanted and one sort of vision for how my makeup would look. And the day before, I suddenly had a thought of, what if one, they say they can't do that, or two, they do that and it either doesn't work or I don't like it, then I haven't really got a backup plan. So then what will happen? With it being so close to the wedding, it will be cutting it really close to suddenly start looking at other ideas. So I got really worried about what I would do if I didn't like it when I actually saw it on me. So I was very nervous leading up to it, especially the morning of. Luckily, the appointment was at 9 AM, so I didn't have a lot of time to get nervous and to sort of work myself up about it. But I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie. So anyone out there that's going for their hair and makeup trial, if you're feeling nervous about it, don't stress, because it is perfectly normal to feel nervous. I know that I definitely did. So I hope that maybe brings some people a little bit of comfort knowing that they are not alone in feeling nervous. I think everyone just sort of expects you to be excited because it's nice to be pampered and have your hair and makeup done, which it is once you know that it's turned out how you want it to. But before you go, it can be very nerve-wracking. I can't stop looking at this bit of hair that's flicking out. I still haven't washed it since they did the trial, and I had the front bits cut out, so there's just this weird like flicky out bit at the bottom there. But yeah, I just wanted to start by saying that I was very, very nervous before I actually went for the trial. So on the topic of having a very set idea for what I wanted, just a couple of little like hints and tips for anyone that is going to be going for theirs soon. Definitely have some ideas in mind of what you want. Maybe be a little bit more prepared than I was and have a backup idea for if your original one doesn't go to plan. Luckily we didn't need it, but it could be handy to have it just in case. I did also have photos saved on my phone in a specific folder so that when they asked what we were wanting, I could just pull up the photos really quickly and show them. I had photos saved for myself, my maid of honour and my older bridesmaid, my younger bridesmaids. I even had some photos saved for my mum and how she's thinking of having her hair. And that was definitely handy because one, at least you've got that like visual to show them rather than just trying to explain it. And two, if you put it in a separate folder in your phone, it's really easy to just go into that folder rather than having to scroll through everything or like scroll through a Pinterest board or something like that. You've literally got it right there to bring up for them. As well as that, definitely make them aware if there's anything you definitely don't want, and make them aware if, like me, you're a little bit nervous, you don't really wear a lot of makeup, you've never had your makeup professionally done. Just let them know so that they're aware, so that if it seems like there's anything you don't like or if you're not really sure what they're doing, and they can explain things to you a bit more, just so that they've got the full picture. And I do think that that can be really helpful. The other thing I would say is to make sure you've got any accessories with you. So for me, I took my headpiece that I'm wearing and my veil. I also took a little clip that I had as well that I was considering using, and we came up with a really good idea for that. So I was glad I took that as well. It's definitely a good idea to have those with you, just so that you can make sure that they're definitely going to work with whatever hairstyle you're wanting. Because I can imagine it would be really stressful if you decided on your hairstyle and then on the day, say you came to put your veil on and it wouldn't sit right with the hairstyle. So it's definitely worth taking those with you. Unfortunately, I couldn't take the hairpiece that I'm using for my maid of honour when she was having her trial because it's being done with by the florist. It's having fresh flowers on it, so obviously we won't have that till the day. So we couldn't do that, but we did still do her trial. She had her hair and makeup trial. That is something else I would advise as well. I know a lot of places don't say that you have to have a trial for any of your bridesmaids, but I do think it's worth it because we did realise when we did her trial there was sort of the odd thing that sort of we wanted to change or that didn't work quite as we thought it would. So it was definitely worth her having the trial as well. So even though obviously it does mean paying for a second trial, I do think it's worth it. Obviously you don't need to take like all of your bridesmaids in tow to have them all done, especially if they're just younger ones. But I think it is handy to try it out on at least one of them, just so you've got an idea of if it's going to work. And it was nice just to see it done as well, to see how the bridesmaids are going to look on the day. That was really exciting. So yeah, definitely would recommend that if sort of your budget can stretch to it. As for the actual appointment itself, we started with my makeup trial first. This was the bit that I was most looking forward to and most nervous about, because obviously, as I say, I have never had my makeup professionally done and I don't tend to wear a lot of makeup. So I was really nervous about how it was going to look, but I was also really excited to see sort of what they did and if they could sort of bring my vision to life. I had saved quite a few photos, as I said, of the look that I was going for. I called it sort of a natural glam, so I didn't want anything sort of too over the top or too big and bold. I just wanted it to look fairly natural, but with a little bit of sparkle and just more glam than I normally look. I had actually saved some photos from their own Facebook page of makeup they'd done on other people, just so that it was ones they were familiar with, so they knew exactly what I was looking for. and I think that was really helpful. They managed to do the sort of natural glam look perfectly, exactly how I was wanting it. They did sort of check everything with me as they were going along, sort of how I wanted the eyes done and the shade that I wanted on my lips, if I just wanted lipstick or if I wanted a gloss on there, the sort of style and the length of the eyelashes. They checked everything with me as they were going, which I thought was great because that made me feel more at ease and like I had a bit more control over what was being done. And I did keep sort of glancing over at the mirror that was to the side of me to see if I could get like a sneak peek of how it was going, because obviously when you're just sitting there having someone do it, you can't really tell how much is being done. But obviously without my glasses, being a decent distance away from the mirror, I couldn't really see much. But once it was done, I was absolutely in love with it. It was exactly what I was wanting. She worked her magic, and it was absolutely brilliant. It looked like me, but like the best version of me that I could be. It was exactly what I was hoping for. It was a little bit strange having the lashes on, because I haven't wore false eyelashes for a very long time. So it did take a bit of getting used to. I felt like I was doing this a lot and my eyelids did feel a little bit heavy at first. But once I got used to them, it was absolutely fine. By the time I left the salon, I was used to them. So I know it's going to be absolutely fine on the day. But I did absolutely love it. I didn't want to take it off. I left it on when I left the salon, and once I got home, even though Richard was coming in from work and I knew he would see it, I didn't have my hair up by the time he came in, so it didn't really spoil anything. And for one, I didn't want to take it off because I liked how it looked, and I also wanted to leave it on just to make sure it was gonna like last out the day. Obviously, I know on the wedding day I'll be like dancing and things like that, so there'll be a lot more going on that it might wear off a little bit easier. But it lasted right up until sort of roughly when I was going to bed. I just took it off before I went to bed, and it still lasted perfectly. The only place it did start to come off was on my nose. I don't know if you've noticed, I do tend to sort of like rub my nose a lot. For some reason I get an itchy nose a lot. So I do tend to like rub the end of my nose a lot, and I did notice when I came to wash it off that on the very end of my nose it had started to come off where I'd rubbed it. So I'm going to have to try and be aware of that on the day and not rub my nose too much. I might ask my maid of honour to like slap my hand if she sees me going for my nose. But yeah, other than that, it lasted really, really well, and it was really comfortable, and I was really, really happy with it. So yeah, makeup trial was definitely a success. The bridesmaids and my maid of honour, they are having very similar to what I'm having, just sort of like a natural glam style. They're not having quite as strong eye makeup as I'm having, where I've got sort of like the full lid. They're just having a little bit with like a little bit of a sparkle in the corner, just so that it sort of blends in with what I'm having, but it's not as strong and as bold as mine. Obviously you don't want to look identical to your bridesmaids, but you do want everyone's makeup to sort of tie in together so that it all looks nice for the photos and everything like that. My maid of honour was happy with hers, so that was good. And they were happy to sort of make little changes as well. Like she asked if she could have a bit of eyeliner on the day as well, and that was absolutely fine. So yeah, hers went really well as well. So next we moved on to my hair trial once I'd had my makeup done. My hair trial went perfectly. There wasn't really anything that needed changed. It worked exactly how I was hoping it would. I'm not going to obviously say how I'm having it, but it is sort of up but not up. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but when I put some photos or video on here after the wedding, you will understand what I mean. I definitely didn't want it all down like this. I can't imagine anything more annoying than it being a windy day, and obviously the length of my hair, if it's windy, it is literally just going to be like this. So I definitely wasn't going to be having it all down. I wanted it off my face. I don't really like my hairline though. Like when I pull my hair straight back, I have like a very wonky hairline. So I knew I wanted some bits left down around my face, hence why these still have a bit of curl to them, which to be honest I'm very impressed with. We did say at the time that I was having it done I mentioned that my hair does not hold curls very well. The only time really my hair has ever held in curls is when I was a little kid doing the village carnival, and I used to get like rags put in my hair. For anyone who doesn't know what rags are, I don't know how like widely of a thing that is. You basically take strips of fabric and sort of twist it through your hair, like really tight twists, and then sleeping it overnight. It's kind of like have you seen, I think it's like a TikTok thing where people put their dressing gown cord in their hair. It's kind of like that, but with like sections with different like strips of fabric in each section. That used to put my hair in curls that would hold for days, but any kind of curl and tongs, straighteners, anything like that, my hair just does not hold the curls. So I was a bit concerned about how that would last on the day. So I think we are considering maybe doing some pin curls, but this was just done with a straightener. And as you can see, it has a bit of curl even now. When I actually had it done, it literally lasted all day in like perfect curls down the front. So I'm feeling a lot more relaxed about that. I'm really happy with that. My headpiece that I've got worked perfectly with the style that I'm wanting for my hair, and my veil sat perfectly in the back where I was wanting it as well. When they put the veil on, I did actually get a bit emotional because it was literally perfect, exactly how I wanted it to look, the hair, the makeup, when they put my veil on, and I felt like I actually looked like a bride. I did get a bit emotional, but obviously didn't cry because you don't want to ruin that makeup. But yeah, it was absolutely perfect. I was so happy with it. It was exactly how I wanted it. The style, it was like it had just been literally copied from the photograph that I showed her. She did it exactly how I was wanting it, and it all worked perfectly. And we have come up with a nice idea as well for the other little hair clip that I had. It wasn't going to look right where I was originally thinking it might go. So what we're going to do is, if I decide I want to take my veil off later in the evening, sort of once we've done like the cake cutting and the first dance, then my maid of honour's going to slip my veil out for me and put this extra hairpiece in, just that I've still got something in there. With me having a really long veil, it might get annoying if I'm wanting to like do a lot of dancing and stuff. It might start hurting my head even with the weight of it. So if I want to take that out, I can put this other hair clip in. So I like that we've got that little like second plan as well for my hair, and it does mean that my hair will be shown off a little bit more as well, rather than hidden underneath my veil. But yeah, overall just completely ecstatic with how it went. I absolutely loved my hair and makeup, and I can't wait to look like that again in 12 days time. Really excited to have it done now on the morning of the wedding, because I know that it's going to look amazing, and I can't wait to see all of my bridesmaids done as well, because I know how wonderful that's going to look. So yeah, that is my hair and makeup trial experience. I hope the couple of little tips I had have helped anybody out there that is due to go for theirs anytime soon. The main thing I would say is that if you feel nervous, that's fine, but definitely just trust the people that you're going to. They know what they're doing, and they will be able to make your vision come to life, and if they can't, they will be able to work something out for you that will look amazing. But yeah, definitely tell them if there's anything you don't like, anything you're not comfortable with, because you want to be comfortable, you want to be happy. Don't be scared to speak up if there's something you want to change. And yeah, I hope you have as good of an experience as I did if you're going for yours anytime soon. So I hope you've enjoyed this little sort of hair and makeup trial mini wedding update. As I say, there isn't loads that I can update you on now because we are so close. I will be back again next week. This isn't the last video before the wedding. I will be back again next week to do a sort of final thoughts, final feelings, a bit of a Q&A. Basically just talking about how I'm feeling in the last week running up to the wedding and how everything's going. I will be putting a post on my Instagram stories at nearer the time to ask if anyone's got any questions. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is linked in the description if you want to go and follow me. But if you don't, or if you don't have Instagram, if you do have any questions for me for the last week before the wedding, please feel free to pop them in the comments section. I will have a look there as well before I film the video. Very excited now with only 12 days to go. Terrified as well, and Still a lot to do, but very excited, and I can't believe that it's finally here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to filming the very last update video for you. So please do leave any questions that you've got or any comments in the comment section, and I will definitely answer them for you in that video. So thank you so much for watching this update. I hope some of you have found it helpful, and I will see you next week for another one. Please do click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you click the bell to turn on notifications for when I upload my next video. I will see you soon when there's only 1 week to go, and yeah, I hope you all have a lovely week. Bye.